Hello and welcome to album review number 14. Today I'm going to be reviewing Trilogy by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Released in 1972, it was the band's third official studio album. They did do a couple of live albums before that. And this is Greg Lake's favourite ELP album, who unfortunately passed away in 2016, as did Keith Emerson, even more unfortunately due to the circumstances of their deaths. Keith Emerson unfortunately committed suicide, while Greg Lake died of cancer. So obviously neither of them died of natural causes, unfortunately. But Trilogy is a fantastic album, and I'm just going to get straight into it. There's 9 tracks on the album, over the space of 2 sides, obviously. 6 on the first side and 3 on the second side. Side 1 begins with The Endless Enigma Part 1, which is absolutely fantastic. One of the best opening tracks to a prog rock album I can name. Very powerful, very emotional. I've heard it's about the music industry. I think that's what the lyrics are about. They sort of criticising the music industry. It starts with a heartbeat. You sort of hear a heartbeat going, and then some sort of sci-fi keyboard sort of going on. A lot of prog rock albums back then started with heartbeats. Dark Side of the Moon wasn't the first one to do it. This came out a year before Dark Side. A Passion Play by Jethro Tull also did it, and I'm sure they're not the only 3. It's a very powerful, loud, and just really. The song's got a lot of oomph to it, basically. It's about 6 minutes, and it's just a really, really powerful and emotional song. Then it goes into Fugue, which is a short instrumental, mainly sort of piano. It's just sort of a bit of an intermission between that and Endless Enigma Part 2, which is again just about 2 minutes long, and it's basically just a conclusion. But altogether, those first 3 songs are absolutely tremendous. Especially Endless Enigma Part 1, I'd say. That's my favourite of those first 3. It's just really, really... I'd probably say it's ELP's best opening track, to be honest. Yeah, when I think about it. Actually, no, scrap that. Tarkus is their best opening track, by far, because that's, in my opinion, their best song. So, scrap that. I forgot all about Tarkus for a second there, for some reason. Other than Tarkus, I'd say it's their second best opening song. Really, really, really brilliant. Track 4 is From the Beginning, which is one of those songs that you can't not love. I know people that don't even like prog rock that love that song. It's chill. It's sort of a stoner song. It's got sort of it's got atmospherics going on in the background, some electronic effects. It's got a catchy acoustic sort of rhythm. It's got a brilliant keyboard solo at the end. It's got really nice lyrics. Greg Lake's singing it really, really well. It's got decent drumming as well. It's sort of do sort of stuff going on. There's not really heavy in drumming. It's just a chill out, easygoing song that's so great to listen to. Just one of ELP's best tracks ever, and definitely their best single. Greg Lake sort of tended to write the singles for their songs, and I'd personally say it's maybe, as far as I know, Greg Lake's best solo song, the best song he wrote by himself. I'm sure Keith Emerson did the keyboard solo, but apart from maybe Take a Pebble, I think Greg Lake actually wrote that as well. Even though it sounds like a Keith Emerson song because it's so piano driven. But From the Beginning is one of the best ELP songs ever. It's tremendous. Track 5 is The Sheriff, which may sound like, when you listen to it, it may sound like just a sort of silly song, but I'd say it's out of all the sort of silly ones, and they have done quite a lot of silly ones, like Benny the Bouncer, Are You Ready, Eddie, songs like that. I'd say it's probably the best one, The Sheriff. It is genuinely decent. It's good to listen to. I wouldn't consider it a throwaway track at all. It's a good song, and have no problems with it. I'd say it's the weakest song on the first side, yeah, but other than it is a good song. Side 1 concludes with Hold Down, which I think is a cover version of something. I'm not 100% sure, but Keith Emerson shows off his keyboard skills here tremendously. It's so fast, it's ridiculous. It's just one of those mental 3-minute instrumentals that just are just absolutely crazy. It's a brilliant song. There's some really sweet bass line going on as well, and Carl Palmer, he's some brilliant drumming too. I don't think Carl Palmer is one of the better prog rock drummers. I think Bill Bruford's the greatest drummer of all time. And I think I could name quite a few drummers better than Carl Palmer, like Neil Peart, for example. Carl Palmer didn't write much of the music. He's sort of a bit like Nick Mason in that way, but when he was with ELP, he did some fantastic drumming with Keith Emerson's under Keith Emerson's direction, and that's side 1, and it's one of the best sides of prog rock. It's tremendous. Side 1 of Trilogy is pretty much flawless. It doesn't have a single bad song or a single even average song. They're all brilliant, really. Side 2 goes into the title track, which is the 8 and just under 9 minute Trilogy, and it's a 3-part sort of song that starts with beautiful piano from Keith Emerson and Greg Lake's voice, tremendous. Then it goes into this heavy 5/8 sort of riff keyboard part. That's riff. I don't know. I don't know if riff is specific to guitar. Can the keyboards have a riff? I don't know, but it's really heavy. It's like dan da da dan da dan da dan da dan da dan, and then while he's doing that with one hand, he's going do 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 with the other hand. It's ridiculous. Great drumming, great bass line, keeping it going, but Keith Emerson just totally takes over that part. And then the third part of the song, I'd say, is probably the weakest, but it's still a good ending to the song. But the first 2/3 of the song, I think, are by far the best. And then I would have to say the last 2 songs on the album are really disappointing. The album's like perfect right up until near the end. The first 3/4 of the album are pretty much perfect, and then these last 2 songs are just nowhere near as good as the rest. Living Sin is okay as a short song. I guess it's alright. I don't really have much to say about it. It's just not a great song. And then Abaddon's Bolero, if I'm pronouncing that right, is the same beat and rhythm and melody for 8 minutes straight, and maybe it's just me, but I'm desperate for something interesting to happen, and it just doesn't. So I think it's a disappointing end to the album, those last 2 songs. I'd have to say it's not a great ending, and especially Abaddon's Bolero, I'd say I feel like with a band that has that much technical proficiency and created such inventive music, I was disappointed by especially Abaddon's Bolero, by how repetitive and dull it is. The whole time I'm listening to it, I don't really listen to it. I genuinely, whenever I listen to Trilogy, I seriously skip those last 2 songs because it's just such a disappointing end. I feel like Trilogy should have been the end of the album, and they should have done 2 much better songs in between. But other than that, Trilogy is a fantastic album. The first 3/4 are pretty much perfect, and then those last 2 songs just aren't great. But other than that, it's a fantastic album. I don't really know what's my favourite ELP album. Tarkus is my single favourite track. The 20-minute Tarkus suite is perfect to me. But the second side of Tarkus is good, but nowhere near as good as the first side. Well, this has like 3/4 that are pretty much perfect. So I couldn't really say what's my favourite ELP album. But I could definitely name a bunch of them that are my favourite songs. But ELP are one of my absolute favourite prog bands. They were probably the first one I heard about other than Pink Floyd. My dad always loved ELP, and I never liked them when I was a kid, but when I proper got into prog, they were one of the first ones after Rush. So I'd have to say Rush, ELP and Pink Floyd were the first 3, especially Pink Floyd and ELP, but Pink Floyd were the first one I liked. Then I liked Rush, and then Rush sort of inspired me to proper get into Pink Floyd, and Genesis and ELP and all that. So that's Trilogy by ELP. This is a really short review. I tend to babble on for like twice as long as this. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I'm getting what I need to say out in a lot quicker format, because nobody wants to sit watching a 25-minute review that could easily be 10 minutes. So hopefully that's a good thing. Thanks for watching. I haven't done a review in about a month and a half. I will hopefully start releasing them more consistently and with less time in between. Not sure what I'm gonna do next. I might do a Moody Blues one. I might do a Pearl Jam one. I don't know. If anyone watching wants to give a suggestion. Like I said, I'm not just doing prog rock. I'm doing any music I like, basically. So thanks for watching. That was Trilogy by ELP. Fantastic album. Got it on vinyl. I think this might be an original. I'm not sure. My dad gave me all the ELP vinyls. I haven't actually bought any of them because my dad has them all. I've showed all my vinyls anyway, but this is a nice vinyl. I think I impressed my music teacher in first year in high school. I was 12, and they had this on the wall like that. It was like the blue tack was on this side, and you could just see that. I was 12 at the time, and I said to my music teacher, "Is that ELP?" He went, "Yeah." I think I impressed him with that. So, Trilogy, get it? Their third album, 3 band members, haha. Anyway, thanks for watching. That was the album review number 14, and I will probably do a Moody Blues one actually next. Anyway, thanks for watching.